and welcome to Tesla's Cube. Today we'll be doing the long-awaited theory video. I've compiled a list of my theories and theories that other people have helped me with. Their names will be displayed on screen now. I'll be your reader, Ice Lemon, otherwise known as Odell, and the theories we'll be looking at today are Hyperpods, realm portals, drone vehicle ideas for the supposed fifth movie, and the silencer EDR theory. I've rated these from least interesting to most interesting, so we'll be starting with the least interesting. Hyperpods. Hyperpods seem to work in a manner that connects to the entire car, simply through its loading mechanism. I discovered this in the water realm when Vert uses a dragster hyperpod, and after being fired through the tube, his speedometer read 514 miles per hour. But after ejecting from the hyperpod, it read 0. At first glance, I believe this was a simple animation error, as there are a lot in this movie. But after researching speedometers in the movie and in real life, I found out that while in a hyperpod, the speedometer was measuring the dragster's wheels, not Vert's. Because when in a hyperpod, the vehicle cannot move, therefore its wheels are still. So when Vert ejected from the hyperpod and his speedometer read 0 miles per hour, it makes complete sense, and it seems hyperpods have a very complicated way of working with the cars. Realm portals. When you hit the wheel at 300 miles per hour, you should come out at 300 miles per hour. But for most realms, this isn't the case. The Acceleracers portal seems to have a way of reducing speeds drastically upon exit, much like observed in the Storm realm. And, like the Hyperpods, I checked the speedometers. And again, like the Hyperpods, I thought it was a simple animation error. The first case of this is when they enter the Swamp realm, and we get a first-person point of view of Vert's car. But the speedometer reads 88. Obviously, this is enough to travel back to 1955, but not enough for the wheel and power. But the best example of this, and the smartest details connected to this, is in the Metro realm. When Karma enters the Metro realm, her speedometer reads 0. How could that possibly be? They just went 300 miles per hour. Well, in the next shot, we see Kurt, Nolo, Taro, and Monkey weaving through realm cars. But if you notice in the scene, they seem pretty slow. And after a while, they seem to pick up speed again, like a car would. But when we switch back to Karma, she also seems to be pretty slow, but again picks up speed. And we get another look at the speedometer. But this time it reads 153 miles per hour. And we don't see any more speedometers after this. This display is an amazing way of showing the effects of realm portals and showing off the details in this movie. But that's really all I have to say about it. Extra notes. First of all, I'd like to draw attention to the amazing attention to detail in this scene, and how this should not be dismissed as a simple animation error. Next, because they exited the portal at 0 miles per hour, how do the animators make the dodging of the realm cars still feel fast? Simple. They made them go the opposite direction, and even if the cars were going really slow, the opposing direction of the realm cars would keep the sense of speed and danger, cleverly hiding the actual speed of the drivers. When I first discovered this, I found it fascinating and truly amazing how this much detail and nuance was put into this small scene. It really showed how much these creators cared for their craft. But that's really all I had to talk about for this topic and the Hyperpod topic. Some interesting facts and tidbits to help you understand more about realms and Acceleron lore. The silencer EDR theory. So while Alec, Benji, and Kadeem were driving for Tesla, they all had EDRs installed into their cars. But because the tech was stolen and hadn't been recalibrated or anything, the first time one of them hits the EDR, them and their car get taken to the silencer HQ. Then he tries and fixes it so only the driver gets taken. Then Benji hits the EDR in the Swamp Realm, and bam, he gets taken to the silencer HQ. After seeing this, Tesla probably modified the EDRs or took them out of the cars entirely. And Kadeem falls in the Storm Realm, and he says, I'm trying to get my... Then his cam cuts out. Maybe he's saying, I'm trying to get my EDR working because it doesn't work. Because either A, it malfunctioned, B, the drones made it malfunction because of that plasma blast, or C, Tesla disabled it because he didn't want to lose another driver. That's why I believe he didn't install it into the cars. Not because of the Acceleracers. He still cares a lot about those, though. Not because he's as selfish, but because his tech wasn't perfected and he didn't want to lose any more drivers. Now we get to the interesting stuff. Drone vehicles. This theory first arose when user RacerMan2001 on the Hot Wheels Discord during a conversation about what Acceleron vehicles would be. He stated that they would probably mirror the cars they race against, and that's when it clicked for me, and I came up with the idea for what cars the drones might use if the fifth movie came out. It starts at Battle Force 5, and since Battle Force 5 recycled a lot of ideas from the fifth movie, the Sentients are basically discount Accelerons, and in the second season, the Red Sentients are introduced, and they are basically evil Sentients. Evil Sentient equals evil Accelerons. Evil Accelerons equals drones. They copy the Battle Force 5 vehicles, but upgrade them slightly. Saber's copy has sharper blades and can shoot them off, but lost most of its maneuverability. Trapper's copy lost the ability to fly, but gains an impressive gyroscope, the ability to drive on walls, stupendous speeds, impressive striking power, and is covered in blades. Tangler's copy lacks both drills and a grappling hook, but gains 2 extra wheels, metal energy-sucking fangs, improved jumping and all-terrain ability, the ability to turn invisible, and the ability to leech energy off other cars. Buster's copy loses the cannons, spikes, and flails, but gains a lot of size, treads, a flexible back carriage, the ability to split in half, and a laser rope in between. Rip-Off Reverb's copy loses the maneuverability and multiple cannons, but instead shoots fire wheels that can be combined to be larger, home in, and can be remotely controlled. A lot of people say that Artie Kadim would have driven a droned Crazy 8s, and some cars got drone versions in the toys. So if Kadim's new army did this, because red sentience equals evil sentience, sentients are recycled Accelerons, evil Accelerons equals drones. Bam. So what if Kadim, as well as using the unused drone cars, used droned Teku and Metal Maniac cars, using Tesla's technology and reverse engineering the abilities to apply to drone cars, or maybe even mass-produce the leftover cars. But how did he get them? Because at the end of the ultimate race, the cars were left there after they all hit the EDR. There's also a drone Nitrium, but at the beginning of Ignition, Nitrium was left in a pit. So in summary, since the Red Sentients are Battle Force 5's drones, and their cars mimic the Battle Force 5 cars, I believe that Kadim will have taken the cars that were left in the HQ, then dronify them, and use them against the Teku and Metal Maniacs, maybe applying the abilities to drone cars or mass-producing the cars left over. Well, that was all the theories. Hope you enjoyed them. Comment down below which theory was your favorite. Maybe submit your own theory. Or if you just want to start a fight and think I'm wrong, go for it. I'll reply. But for now, you can check out other Tesla's Cube content. You can check out our other content creators. And again, for now, bye.